So today we're going to draw polar bears in their habitat. Now that we've learned a little bit about them, I would like you to draw more than one. It could be a family or it can be just more than one. Right here I have an adult polar bear and two cubs that I started. And you can see I started with very light lines, sketching, so that I have an idea of how I'm going to draw the more definite shapes. So we have already learned a lot about using shapes to draw. Okay, you've done a lot of drawing this year, and mostly ovals and circles can be used for this kind of drawing also. So the first thing is the environment, and one of the pictures in the slideshow shows a big snowdrift. You can make it any shape, any way you want, but I'm just giving you an idea. And the bears were kind of hidden a little bit by the snowdrift. So the first thing you want to do is, if you're doing an adult, just figure out about how big it's going to be, and you can figure a very light circle for each, the top and the bottom, the head and the body. But don't draw a circle, okay? The polar bear adult's head will be maybe about this big compared to the body. I'm doing it like an oval, but kind of like a triangle, because the top of the polar bear's head, I noticed, kind of dips down a little bit like the grown-up one, depending on how you're looking at it. And then really, even though I drew an oval, to draw the body, it's even easier going from each side, curving down, because the polar bear's body is so big, even up here, okay? And then the legs are pretty massive too. I'll just make a little dot where the front legs would show from the body, and the rest is like the stomach or the front area. It's more shadowy there, so you can put some lines which will make it look darker and more shadowy. Okay, then you may see part of the paw, and you might see the back, the hind leg, just like when we draw a cat or a dog, and part of the body is sticking out in the back because it's not fully standing, right? The front legs are up. Everything is ovals, circles, curved lines, or straight lines. Now this is going to look a lot better or a lot more realistic when you put the fur in. And I was just experimenting with the paw, but instead of drawing the details, I just decided make it go out, make the bottom of the legs go out a little bit more. Now the polar bear's ears are kind of on the side of the head, okay? And near the bottom, the nose, if you're looking pretty much straight at the bear, look, is near the bottom. A little line down, a little line like that. And the eyes are far apart, okay? And then when you make a cub, if you make a cub, you might want it to be overlapped. You might want to put it here in front of the other one. It's really up to you. So I'm just going to show you a cub over here. You're going to place them where you want them. We've talked about this before, baby animals, baby humans. When something is younger, or a baby, the head looks rounder and bigger. So that's why this head I made really more round than the grown polar bear, even though they're similarly shaped. This bear I'm going to make a little bit from the side. So the body's the same, right? It's like an oval, but now I'm showing a little more of the side. And then you're going to show the side leg, right? And the back leg. So you'll see when it's erased. So you're seeing me put in guidelines, but then erase the guidelines. And now you can get a more definite look at this bear, which is smaller from the side. And so if he's a little bit from the side, his nose will be closer to the side also, right? One eye, another eye, an ear. The other ear would be in closer in the head more, okay? And then you decide how many you're going to make and where you're going to place them. Now, if this is a snowdrift, like in the picture, by the way, you're going to go back and look at the pictures. This might be their den going in, actually, going down into a den. So look at the color, and you'll get a crayon or a colored pencil. Either one will work really great. And shade the different parts of the ice and the snow, and put the darker shadows where you see the darker shadows, and then use a crayon to color the darker parts. But one of the things I really want you to do is show the texture even more. Whoops, I'm just showing you close up by drawing some fur lines, some going down on the body and then going a little bit sideways and up on the head. It reminds me of when we did owl feathers, right? Because it depends what part of the body the feathers were on would be the part that was either that were pointing down, or if they're on the head, they'd be pointing up. It really depended where everything was on the body. So you can do it this way. You can do it on an ice, floating ice. It's your picture. You decide what to do, but you will be coloring it from top to bottom, which means you can pick any color you want for the sky and just fill in the colors as you see them. Of course, the polar bear looks white, so that is already done. Just do your best to be creative and add whatever you like.